All right, and we're live. Welcome to the Dog Days podcast. I'm your host, Andy B., and this is the place where we discuss all things dog, pet, and animal related. Today's guest is Kelsey. Kelsey is a groomer from Victoria, BC. She works at Island Pet Source. She just got here after a day's work of grooming dogs. Kelsey, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we had met you when we came to your house where you were grooming, what was her name? Casey.
Casey, yeah.
Casey dog. So that was amazing that you did that. And she says you guys do a lot of work together for the Humane Society. So take us back, like how did you get into all this? And
Well, I met Penny when I was 16 and just madly in love with dogs and looking for a way to spend more time with them. So I started volunteering at the SPCA where she was the manager.
Yeah.
And we just kind of became friends through the work there. And I was with her for about 10 years there. And then when she started Humane Society, I kind of followed there and just continued fostering and grooming.
So it sounds like when she finds the right person, she kind of really relies on that person and throws a lot of stuff on their plate because she has a tremendous amount on her plate too. So do you find that you're always doing stuff for them like weekly, daily? Like is it always like a part of your life to be doing volunteer work and stuff like that in your spare time?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, she's such an incredible woman that it's contagious, her passion. And I think it's something that people want to be a part of. She has the ability to kind of spark that dedication and that love. And, you know, her thing is it takes a village, and, you know, just getting to be a part of that village is pretty special because she's a force. So whenever I can help, I love to. I've kind of done fostering for some other rescues as well. So I haven't done Humane Society fostering in a while, but I do a lot of grooming for her.
Yeah.
Dogs that come in bad shape and just need some love before they can get into their foster situation and start kind of the healing process. That's kind of mainly what I do with her, and then go to events when I can, different events here and there, just for awareness and fundraising and that kind of thing.
So how did you like actually get into grooming? Because like when we first filmed Casey grooming, it was like a long process, and it was an intense process for the dog too. I had no idea. Like the dog came in, you know, lost and scared, and she was shivering and shaking, and she was so matted and messed up, and now it's like what, 2 months later, and she's actually starting to get ready for adoption. But to do that took a skilled hand and took a big heart and a calm voice that you possessed. Like how did you feel that was what you wanted to do?
I fell into it. I needed a job out of high school, and I wasn't ready to commit to kind of college, and I just wanted to continue my passion with animals. And so I just applied at a PetSmart as a bather, and I just kind of found I was pretty good at it just from my previous experience of volunteering. And I went to grooming school and then just continued. And I mean, I think for me, I'm lucky that I'm passionate, that kind of that overflows. My personal life passion and my work life passion are the same. Because I think when you're passionate about anything, it's hard to not be successful.
Yeah.
So I've found, you know, I love learning about dogs too. And I think the more you want to learn and you want to grow, the better you become at something. And like you said, grooming is a very multifaceted skill. You need to have not just the physical haircut, but the understanding of dog behavior and the kind of presence to calm them and to know when to push and when to stop. And
do you ever get crazy dog people that are obsessed with how their dog should look and stuff like that? Because it's I guess most of it is grooming and taking care of the dog, but then sometimes you have to deal with the owner and the people that.
For sure. Yeah. Every once in a while you definitely do. I would say for the most part, it depends. I find it depends who you are, the kind of clients that you attract. So for me, a lot of people care about what their dog looks like, but for the most part, people just want their dogs to be happy and comfortable and cute. I don't do a ton of really fancy show stuff. It's more just kind of basic pet stuff. So for the most part, I'd say my clients are just pretty happy with
the finished product.
But once in a while you do, you know, dog people can be a little nutty. So once in a while you definitely do get the nutty clients, and Do
you ever get, you know, like the expression, like a chef can cook all day this beautiful food for people in his restaurant, and then he goes home at the end of the day and the last thing he wants to do is cook for himself.
Toast and peanut butter.
So he ends up eating a pizza pocket or something. Does that happen with you? Because like you just came here from an 8-hour shift at Island Pet Source and you were grooming all day. would you want to go home and continue grooming like for your spare time at all, or do you always
No, groomers hate grooming their own dogs. Yeah. I do it, but I'm always like, I don't mind doing it for other people, but definitely when it is your own dog, you get a bit lazy for sure.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's funny. That's funny. So I had some other questions for you. What does your family think of all this stuff? Like, are they super proud of what you do? Are they dog lovers as well? And
yes, they are. My family's wonderful. I don't think they had much of a choice to be dog lovers. From when I could walk and talk, I was hell bent on dogs being everything. So they're incredibly supportive and incredibly proud of me. Whenever I do any kind of fundraising or I take on any kind of new foster projects, they're right there by my side at the event, donating, helping, supporting, spreading the word. So I'm very lucky that, like Penny, I feel like I also kind of have a village around me that's always there to support and contribute.
Yeah, cool. And how about another thing I asked Penny was to give me some tips on being a foster family, because we applied to do that through the Humane Society. I just want to throw one more wrench in my plate, but I feel like we have the spare time to do it and the space to do it. What are some tips for rookie dog groomers that need to do some fixes at home if they don't have the money to do so, or take it into a professional? Like, what are some basic things that you can offer someone like me if there's
like grooming for a foster dog?
Yeah. Should you just not do that at all, and should you just leave it to the professionals? Or
I would say anything sharp I would leave to a professional.
Yeah.
But in terms of brushing, that's always a good thing to start practicing, and it just depends on your dog. If your dog is really fearful of touch, then just practicing grooming is a hugely helpful thing. But again, you have to kind of know how to balance that. Find something that dog loves, and is it toys, is it treats, is it just affirmation and praise? And you have to mix those things that they're fearful with the things that they love. So brushing and touching and handling is always such a positive thing for new dogs. And then
because some dogs might not even accept that.
Exactly. It just depends where they've come from, what their story is, and you kind of have to figure that out. There isn't sort of, the great thing about dogs is they're so unique, but with that doesn't come a specific set of rules for all of them.
Should you be brushing your dogs daily? Is that good for their coat, for their oils, for their skin?
For sure, yeah. I mean, most people don't have I don't even brush my dogs daily. So most people don't have the time of day to do it every day. But absolutely, the more that you kind of brush a dog, the better their coats will be, for sure. And it is a good practice for your dog to sit still and be handled and touched, because if you never do that with your dog and you have a medical emergency and you take it to a vet and your dog's going to lose its mind. Whereas it's good for a dog to have kind of be felt all over and practice that in a safe, comfortable environment.
What are some things that you've achieved over the years? Have you done? Has this led to anything really special for you besides fostering individual dogs?
For sure, yeah. That's an interesting question, because I definitely feel the last couple years I've taken sort of some steps to do my own kind of fundraising, not just for being as a part of another rescue, but I went to Thailand last year with one of my best friends, and we did a huge fundraiser. It was the first kind of fundraiser we ever did on our own, start to finish, and we fundraised $4,000 for a shelter in Thailand. That's where I got my dog Dave from. And
so let me pull up Dave so
she's a cutie.
So tell us about Dave.
So Dave came from this shelter where we went, and she was paraplegic. She was found as a baby paraplegic. You can see her legs are all kind of wonky. They were all kinds of wonky. So because
that's when she had her legs and she was wearing a diaper.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So she's incontinent because she's paraplegic, and because of her crushed pelvis, it left one leg really straight, and the other leg kind of sat up like a chicken wing.
So the other leg is behind her.
Is behind her and tucked up, yeah. And they took her in, and the only space they had that was safe for her was a bathroom stall. And she was so loved, but they just did not have the means and the space to give her kind of what she needed. There's a really good one of her legs. So it's a little unsettling when you first look at it.
Yeah.
You can see kind of how they sit.
Yeah.
And when I got her home and she started being more active and running around, I noticed how much they were in the way. They really impeded her movement. She would injure them and then couldn't feel it, so didn't know to stop when she was hurt. So after I think maybe 4 months of her being home, I actually ran into a paraplegic man and with her, and he had his legs amputated, and he was actually,
quality of life went up.
He's the one who convinced me, because he told me his story and how much his life improved when he did remove his legs. And that was kind of my divine moment of being like, all right, we're going to do it. It's not an easy thing. And I think she was the first double amputation Chris Forbes at Mill Bay Vet had ever done. So it was a pretty special case for her to take 2 legs off at once. And it was a pretty tough recovery period for her. I was really wondering if I had done more harm than good at some points, but now that her legs are gone and she's healed, her quality of life is just skyrocketed. Everything is easier for her. She swims, like she's amazing. She's probably the best thing I've ever done.
She can keep her body afloat with 2 legs.
Totally. She's faster than my 4-legged dog. Believe it or not, they race and she wins every time.
I saw some pictures. I'll show you these where she was in the wheelchair.
Yep.
And she doesn't seem like she's missing anything either,
She has no idea she's any different.
Was there a psychological impact at first, like part of her recovery? Did she realize that half of her body was missing? And
she actually did. She went into like a pretty good round of depression. There's a good one of her chair. And I underestimated the emotional aspect of it for sure. I just thought, look at me, I'm giving you a gift, I'm fixing you, and I didn't anticipate what that emotional recovery would be like for her. So it was tough getting her through that emotionally. Was hard to watch.
Yeah.
But once she was really healed, and I think she was able to experience how much better things were, then she kind of went through my sister said to me, like, you need to let her grieve the loss. Like, they were her legs, whether they didn't work or not, they were part of her that's gone. So that really helped me to just kind of be patient and let her.
So besides taking Dave back, what else did you guys do in Thailand? Like, what was the purpose of the trip?
The purpose of the trip, was to bring her. We brought 4 other puppies back with her.
Were they just like Thai, like street dogs?
Yeah, they were strays that were taken in by the Thai Animal Sanctuary.
Okay.
And so we brought 5 of them back, and the 4 puppies are now living. 1's in Vancouver and 3 are here.
Amazing.
Rosier Days Rescue, who you guys know, they took on 2 of the puppies and found them homes for us. And then we just spent a month volunteering and shoveling poop and walking dogs. And
what city was this?
It's in a town called Sanklebury, which is about 7 hours from Bangkok. So it's
south
in the middle of nowhere. South, yeah.
South, yeah. Okay, awesome. So how can people support you if they feel so inclined, like right now at this moment?
I mean, just follow along on my journey on social media. And I'm always putting out there at work, and I'm going down to Mexico in September, end of September. My work, Island Pet Source, is sponsoring a trip with Rosier Days. And we're going down there to work with Backstreet Dogs Rescue to put on 2 spay and neuter camps to try to help control the pet population down there. So that's happening in September. We've got a big fundraiser coming up this summer. We're going to be doing a beer and bath event. We're going to be licensing a groom shop, Diamond Dogs in James Bay.
Okay. So where does the beer part come in?
Yeah, we're licensing it. Our friends at Moon Underwater Pub are going to be donating a keg. So we'll license the place. People can come, drink beer. There'll be snacks. We'll bath your dog by donation. We'll do nail trims, face trims, all that kind of stuff. So it'll just be a fun place. I'm always looking myself personally for fun social causes, that have dogs and beer, and fun. That's my jam. If you can give me, wine and beer and dogs for a good cause, I'm all about that. So that's kind of what we want to try to do, is create fun things for people to do that you can, make some money and do some good at the end of it.
Yeah, we had a really good response this past Sunday at Car Free YYJ when people that didn't know about the brand heard that we're basically just supporting the Humane Society, and then that was enough to really win people over.
Yeah.
So something like that, where they get to actually partake and have some drinks and pet their, wash their dog and donate, is going to really be a success for sure.
Totally.
So yeah, we'd love to support you guys doing that whenever that
cool,
happens.
Cool, thanks, yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to do was present you with my favorite shirt, and it's the shirt that everybody loves. So this is for you for coming.
Thank you. I love it.
Wear it with pride.
I will.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's our baseball tee. And that shirt actually feeds 10 dogs.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. So everybody follow Kelsey on Instagram. It's at...
it's Kelsey's Dog Life on my Instagram, and you can follow me on Facebook. It's Kelsey Canhoffen. You should be able to find my name on my Instagram. But yeah, I am always doing dog things and fundraisers.
And if they want to get a hold of you for grooming, where can they do that?
You can do that through Island Pet Source. You can shoot me a message on Instagram. You can go, to Island Pet Source Facebook. We have our phone number and stuff there as well. So
cool.
You can do that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening today. If you like the show, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. But whatever you do, stay positive. We'll see you next week. Peace.